It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, two great elementary schools vying for the chance to take on Gladys Noon Spellman and perhaps advance to the semifinals. Let's meet today's teams and also play along with us today and test your own scientific literacy. First, from Hyattsville Elementary School, would you please say hello to Shakib Hassan, Hazel Hayashi, and Jordan Eberhardt. And from William Hall Academy, would you say hello to Daniel Portillo, Sarah Arantes, and Daniel Achu. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left. They're worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds today, we will have a competitor for Gladys Noon Spellman Elementary. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Red team, Hazel, would you try your buzzer? Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Jordan, and to Shakib. And Sarah, the green team, looking good. Good luck to you and to both Daniels over there. Congratulations, guys, on being here today, because you're the best. Your school said you're going to make good ambassadors, and so everybody wins just by being here. So you should pat yourselves on the back. Let's have a good game. Yeah, you can do that literally. We go alphabetically H before W, so Hyattsville and Hazel, let's play the bowl. Go ahead.
Body system for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if you're on Scienceville, like you are right now, and you sometimes can't say the answer, it could be that this fleshy protuberance in your mouth is tied. Hazel.
Tongue.
Yeah, you could be tongue-tied. Good. Red.
Jordan, I'm passing this on to Jordan.
Go ahead. Hazel, you pick. That's your job.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, in hyena society, it is matriarchal dominance, which means who rules the roost? William Hall.
The alpha.
I can't hear you.
The alpha.
The alpha? Give me more information.
It's like the leader of the clan. The leader of the clan?
Not quite. No, you're missing one key part there. Hyattsville, matriarchal dominance in hyena society, meaning who rules the roost?
The male.
No, the women. Matriarch is a woman. The women rule the roost. The alpha female. Go red.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for
10.
10 points. Teams, recently in Japan, an earthquake was stopped because the magma chamber of one of these was sitting on top of it. That's a volcano. Magma is found in a volcano, and it was literally sitting on top of the earthquake, and it stopped the earthquake from happening. We'd never seen that happen before. Try again, red.
Science Potpourri for 10.
Science Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, doctors known as oncologists describe this disease as stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or most seriously, stage 4. What disease is very serious that this doctor would describe in those different stages? Hazel?
Cancer.
Cancer is right. Yes, oncology. Try red.
Body system for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, water beats diet soda in weight control experiments by people who have type 2 of this disease. Type 2. Hazel.
Diabetes.
Diabetes is right. Yes, ma'am. Good answer. Go.
Parade for 10. Oh. Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Octopus and squid belong to a group of animals called cephalopods. I'm going to say it. I hadn't even asked anything. What do you want to tell me? Daniel, what do you want to say?
Orthopods.
Not arthropods. No. Hyattsville. Squids and octopus belong to a group called cephalopods. I'll say the word again. Cephalopods, because literally this part of their body is attached to their feet. No, you're out of it. Hyattsville.
Head.
Head. Yes, cephalo means head. Head, foot. Yeah, they don't have anything in between. Try again, red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. This sounds strange, but it's true. Some engineers have come up with a see-through car with green plants inside, hoping that this food-making process that plants do can someday power that car. What is that food-making process, Hyattsville?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis, yeah. How about a photosynthetic car? That is kind of cool. Yeah, driving along with, you can see the grass all around you. Yeah, go red.
Green things for 50.
Green things for?
15.
15 points. Teams, you've all heard of chlorophyll. That's a green pigment found in leaves. But there are other pigments found in leaves called xanthophyll and anthocyanin that you only see when? When would you only see those other colored pigments? Hyattsville.
During fall.
Say it again.
During fall.
During fall, absolutely right. The fall leaves, that's the reds and the yellows and the browns and the oranges. Yeah, even if you've never heard of that before, kind of try to put the parts together. You guys are not talking to each other over there. I want to see some ferment there. You're just sitting there looking, all right? Come on with some, come up with some ideas. Okay, red, go. It's all red so far. Hazel?
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Strange but true. People who work at the National Gallery of Art and they get these priceless paintings that have smudges on and dust bunnies, what body fluid that we make do they use to clean those smudges off? So I'm looking for a body fluid. William Hall.
Saliva.
Saliva, that's it, good. Just like this, it works. Go, Sarah, go.
Science potpourri for 15 points.
Science potpourri for 15 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, a student your age recently came up with the idea of a cane for blind people that would figure out the distance between the cane and an object. Great idea. So they're putting together kind of a model of what it might look like. Do they call that model, which is not working yet, a prototype, a phenotype, or a genotype? Hyattsville.
A prototype.
A prototype, absolutely right. A prototype is kind of a model, a working model. Nicely done. We've come to the end of the first round. It's been pretty much all Hyattsville this far. Right now they are at 130, William Hall at 55. William Hall says we're going to get them in the second half. Don't go away. We'll be right back with that. Welcome back to Hyattsville. 6 young people playing our game today from 2 elementary schools, and they're all here for the very first time, and they're doing a very nice job. It takes a while to get your sea legs on a show like this with these lights in your eyes and someone like me firing questions at you, but they're doing well. Let's go find out a little bit about them. Hyattsville Elementary in Hyattsville, Maryland. And Hazel, can you tell us about your school? Who's your principal?
Miss Bay.
Wonderful. She's out there rooting for you. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Page.
Miss Page, absolutely. Miss Page, thank you for all the work you've done with us over the years and for sending us such a fine team here today. Hazel, any alternates on your team?
Dylan Adams.
Dylan, yeah, we'll bring him out in just a few moments. And tell me about Hyattsville. What's something special about your school that you would like our audience to know? Something that makes it neat.
Well, I think they have a really good visual and performing arts program. Like, we have an in-school art teacher. Before we didn't, but now we do, and she's really good. So.
Wow, I can tell you really enjoy that class. You're obviously a creative young lady yourself, and tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a neurologist.
Neurologist, so you want to study the brain. And how did that come about?
Well, I've always been like interested, like you have a whole body and you think about how it works, but then it all traces back to your brain, so I really want to.
It sure does. Some of you might have heard of the man called Thomas Edison. He was the one who invented the light bulb, and he had a famous saying that the main reason we have a body is to carry our brain around, and that is absolutely right. You're playing a nice game, Hazel. Keep it up. Jordan, nice to have you with us today. You told me earlier that you've got an older sister, and I hope she's watching because you're doing a nice job here today. You like to pester her a little bit like all kid sisters do. What do you do in your spare time when you're not bugging your sister?
Well, when I'm not bugging my sister, I like doing art and drawing and that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's a visual and performing arts school, so you're doing the stuff that you should be doing there. What do you want to do professionally?
Well, I want to be a space scientist or a doctor who finds cures for diseases.
Yeah, so be like a medical researcher. Yeah, well, we appreciate that because we need a lot of help with medicine still in this day and age. Shakib, you like American football, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you told me you don't have a particular favorite team. What do you do in your spare time? Do you play soccer?
Not really, like at school sometimes.
At school, okay. And tell me what you want to do someday.
I want to be a space scientist or a doctor that studies the heart.
So you have a few things in common with Jordan over there. So cardiology, that's a good science bowl question. That's a heart doctor. How'd you get interested in that?
I don't really know. It just seems cool.
Yeah, it does seem cool. Well, you've got a lot of you've got someone's life in your hands there. So a lot of schooling ahead of you, Shakib. Nice to have you here. William Hall, nice to have you guys here. It's William Hall Academy, Sarah. Why is it called an academy?
Because it's like two schools in one.
Two in one. So your school goes from what grade to what grade?
It's Head Start to 8th grade.
To 8th grade. So you can be in William Hall for a long time. I remember when they cut the ribbon for William Hall when it was a brand new school, and before that, some of you might know that it used to be a drive-in movie theater there. So it's kind of a neat place over there in Forestville. Who's your principal, Sarah?
Mr. Daryl Evans.
Wonderful, and I know he's out there rooting for you. And the sponsor of your team?
Miss Quo.
Miss Quo. And Miss Quo. Marilyn has been with us for many years and does so much for science in this county with the Kids for Science, and she's just a great teacher. I know you agree with me on that. Who are the alternates, if you have any? I don't think you have any on your team, do you?
Well, we do, but she's not here.
She's not here. What's her name?
Ayana Stanley.
Thanks for mentioning her name. Tell me something neat about William Hall.
Would you like to say something?
Okay.
I say that William Hall Academy is a great school because all the teachers really care about us and they really care about our education. They try our best for us to thrive to success.
Very nicely said. Very nicely said. A tribute to the teachers, because without good teachers, there's no reason to go there, and especially if they care about you. Sarah, thank you for doing that. What do you want to do someday?
I would like to study geology or maybe be a photographer.
Photographer, wow. And of course, they could go hand in hand. You know, I've seen some of those geodes, you know, with those beautiful crystals, you know, and they make beautiful pictures there. You've got some good interest there, and I want to see you get some points in the second half, all right? Don't you give up on me here. Don't you give up. All right. Daniel Portillo, young man who he said, ask me any question about dinosaurs, Mr. Z, and I shot a couple questions, and he knows his stuff. Do you want to be a paleontologist maybe someday?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also want to be a vet so I can help sick animals so they can, because sometimes animals help us when we're sad, and I want to help them back because I have a pet cat at home, and each time I'm sad, she cheers me up.
It's a wonderful observation. You know, without pets know when we're sick, and they know when we need some tender loving care, and they never judge us. You know, they're always our friends, and but you're good. It seems like you've got a nice way with animals, Daniel, you know, and I like your enthusiasm. You know, don't lose that. And Daniel, number 2 over there. Daniel, would you tell us about yourself? What do you do in your spare time?
sometimes I try to learn how a lawyer does to help people with their rights.
And do you like to argue with people? Because
Yes.
lawyers have to argue and you have to win your arguments. You got to make your case. You know, you got to persuade people that your convictions are the right ones. What do you do in your spare time?
Sometimes I practice football at my football stadium with my friends and my coaches.
Okay. And you played football when you were in Florida. Is that what you told me?
Yes.
How long have you been here in Maryland?
I've been here ever since I was born.
Okay. So when you said, I thought you had told me you played in Florida. I thought maybe you had lived in Florida at one time. Okay, let's get back into the game. Hyattsville 135, William Hall 55. So the last correct answer came from the red team. Lots of points to give away here. All right, put on your thinking caps. All right, let's do this. Let's have a good round. All right, Daniel is literally doing it over there. I like that. Okay, come on, Hazel. Pick one.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Team, some of you know what an armadillo is. It looks like a little tank. Well, armadillos do a neat thing. They breathe in to get as much air in their intestines as they can, so when they go swimming, what B-initialed force keeps them up? What B-initialed force would keep them up if they've got guts full of air, Sarah?
The weight.
Their weight.
And that has to, remember, I said B-initialed. It has to begin with the letter B. Hyattsville, any idea? Buoyancy. You ever heard of buoyancy? So you bob up and down. That was the word we were looking for there. Try again, red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, when astronauts are in outer space, they are in great danger because of cosmic radiation. Because in outer space, this M-initialed field that protects us on Earth is gone. What M-initialed field keeps us safe from cosmic rays? Sarah?
Atmosphere.
M-initialed. What M-initialed? Hyattsville, the magnetic field. Try again, red. Hazel, let's go.
Body system for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, the American Heart Association. Come on, Shakib, this is up your alley here. You're a future cardiologist. The American Heart Association says that to do this now, to save someone's life who has had a heart attack, you push on their chest 100 times and you give them one breath for every 30 times you push on their chest. What are the 3 letters that describe that procedure to try to help someone with a stopped heart? Hyattsville?
CPR.
CPR, that's it. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Something you should all remember beyond this program. Go, red.
Dateline signs for 10.
Dateline for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, the most sophisticated robot ever built, it even takes selfies, is the Mars rover that is named for this quality that is said to have killed the cat. What quality is said to have killed the cat that is the name of this Mars rover? Hyattsville.
Curiosity.
Curiosity killed the cat. That's right. That is the name of the rover. Okay, Hazel, you're on a roll. Go.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. I think, judges, we used that one already, did we not? Green things for 20 is available, but not. That was the armadillo and the buoyancy for 20. Hazel, so that one is not available, but the green things for 20 is available. They turned that one out. We turned that one out mistakenly. What do you want?
Green things for
All right,
20.
green things for 20 points. All right, here's your question. Teams, when plants die after 1 year, they are annuals. If they die after 2 years, they are biennials. But if they keep coming back every year, what P-initial term describes a plant that comes back year after year after year? That's a perennial. A perennial. Try again, red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, it's a multiple choice question. People say that if you eat turkey at Thanksgiving, it makes you sleepy because there's a chemical in there called tryptophan. Tryptophan is actually a kind of acid that is used when you put them together to make proteins. Is that kind of acid a nucleic acid, a sulfonic acid, or an amino acid? William Hall.
Sulfonic.
Not sulfonic, no. What kinds of acids are strung together to make proteins? Tryptophan is one of those. Is it sulfonic, nucleic, or amino?
Amino.
Amino acid, absolutely right. Good. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, President Obama is encouraging all of you to take more STEM classes. Science, technology, engineering, and math. And he also wants you to take classes where you write computer what? Hyattsville.
Code.
Code, yeah. He wants you to be a computer coder or a computer programmer. All right, red.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, there are things online called Google Doodles, which are cartoons. And Google recently made one with an apple falling from one of the O's because it was the birthday of this famous scientist who got hit on the head with an apple. Sarah?
Sir Isaac Newton.
That would be he. Nicely done. Okay, green, go.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25 is the big one in that category. Teams, look at the monitor. This is a visual question. This nasty looking creature is a Gila monster. It lives down in Arizona and New Mexico, and when it bites, it has toxic chemicals that are injected into its victim. So since the toxin is injected into its victim, you don't call it a poisonous lizard, you call it this kind of lizard. William Hall.
Venomous.
Venomous, that's what I want to hear. Good, 25 points. All right, got some life over there. Go green. Sarah.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Another visual question. Look back to the monitor if you would. This tree, they call it Adonis, is the oldest tree in Europe. It is 1,075 years old. It is, we know it's that age. There are other trees that are older, but those other trees near it are these C-initialed copies of the original that are reproduced asexually. What C-initial term describes a copy when you're talking about a biological organism? William Hall.
Clone.
Clone, that's it, absolutely. Go green.
Booyah. Science potpourri for 25.
Science potpourri for 25 points. Teams, other than the octopus and the squid, the smartest invertebrates are the honeybee and the cockroach because they have more of these N-initialed nerve cells than any other invertebrate. These N-initialed nerve cells. They're called neurons. Try again, green.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, if you decide in your science fair experiment you want to make a volcano or a smoke screen, all you have to do is go into your kitchen and you get this acid and this base and you put them together. What are those two products in your kitchen that can make that volcano Hyattsville?
Baking soda and vinegar.
You got them. Baking soda and vinegar, and you got a mess all over the place, and you tell your mother, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Go red.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25, big one in that category. Okay, come on, William Hall, you can still do this. Body systems for 25 points. If you go to school in Prince George's County, and you do, you need the DPT shot. D is diphtheria, P is pertussis, and T is this disease, otherwise known as lockjaw, and you always get this shot if you cut yourself. What is the T in the DPT for 25 points? Hazel.
Tetanus.
Tetanus. Yes, ma'am. Good answer. Go. Red.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. Teams, the number 10 raised to the 100th power is the same name as this most popular search engine on your computer. Yeah, someone has to ring, Daniel. You can't put your hand up. Hazel.
Google.
Google, that's right. Sergey Brin and Larry Page came up with Google based on that number. Red, go. Nicely done.
Dateline science 20.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points. Teams, back in 1995, the best-selling book in America was The Hot Zone. It was all about this E-initial disease that recently caused a panic in this country? E, initial disease that caused a panic in this country. The hot zone, Sarah.
Ebola.
Yeah, that's it. Good. Oh, the buzzer has rung just as William Hall was getting their sea legs here. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back to Science Bowl. Some tough questions today, but some even tougher competitors. William Hall came roaring back in that second half, but it looks like the red team is prevailing today. Our final score, William Hall 130, Hyattsville 270. What a game you played today. Hazel and Jordan and Shakib, congratulations. Dylan, I know you're happy about this. Miss Page, thank you very much. We're going to see you in the next round. And William Hall, you can pat yourselves on the back yet again as you did at the beginning of the program today. You did a great job. Dan, I loved your enthusiasm, and keep that love of animals. Sarah, I want to see you as a famous geologist someday. And Daniel, I want to see you play football, wherever that is. You're a good young man. And Marilyn, thank you for everything you've done here. Miss Quo, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.